I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Yo, I'm gonna deafen up while I do the class real quick. Under Propfirm? Yeah, I never looked into it. But I'll be back. What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Let's test this real quick. Perfect. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Let me finish my food real quick. I literally just got home. I got home at 6:50 and I rushed to the room, made myself a plate, eating some avocados, tomatoes, cucumber, a little bit of rice. Give me 1 minute. Let me just finish up my food and then we will start the session. I'm almost done. I'm only missing like 2 more scoops. Give me 1 minute. Any questions in the meantime, let me know. Any pairs in specific that you guys want me to go over, let me know. The pairs we will be going over will be in order from the top to the bottom, the one with the red flag next to their name. Starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with US oil. Again, we will be going in order from the top to the bottom. Gotta tap in with the cucumber. This shit is fire, bro. I'm telling you. Cucumber keeps you hydrated, keep you looking young, man. Avocados, I fucking hate avocados. You should see my face eating this shit. Like, ugh, man. I really like now. I could stand it. Like, I could just eat it and it's whatever. But I don't know what it is about avocados that I do not like. I fucking hate them, and I eat them almost every single day. Alright, my bad. I took the plate to the kitchen, went to the bathroom real quick. Let me take a sip of water and then we'll get started, guys. Yerp, what's goody, what's goody? Soft ass taste buds. Yo, bro, listen. I don't know. Again, I don't know what it is, because avocado don't taste bad. Like, I'm eating it, but yo, it doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like water, right? It's just alkaline. Straight just water. But there's something about it, and I still don't know what it is, because every time I eat it, I try to figure it out. Like, what is it that I don't like about avocados? I don't mind the texture. Like, I don't prefer it if it's cold or if it's room temp, you know, if you put it in the fridge or if you keep it out. Like, I don't think it's any of that. There's something about the fucking avocado that I do not like. And I eat it regardless, because, you know, you got to. It is what it is. I'm not a little girl, man. It is what it is. But nah. There's something about the goddamn avocados that I do not enjoy. Like, I just rather not eat it. I would rather eat anything else other than avocados. It's like, I'll give you a weird example before we start. Little yap session. But like, there's an ice cream that I bought few months ago. Actually, nah, it was at my sister's house. And I think the brand is the Talenti one, the one that's like dairy free and shit like that. And I believe the flavor was supposed to be, right? Keyword supposed to be cookie dough. And I'm eating it and I'm like, yo, this shit isn't horrible, but it doesn't taste like cookie dough. She's like, yo, what does it taste like? I'm like, I'm eating it and I get a flashback. Like, you know, when in those movies when you get a flashback and your eyes widen up and it shows in the past. So that's some shit like that happening to me. I'm like, yo, you know what this tastes like? Play-Doh. Right? Because as a kid, not that I eat Play-Doh as a kid, but you eat Play-Doh as a kid. It is what it is. It tastes like Play-Doh. Like the smell of Play-Doh, you could kind of already know what the taste is. Right? Just from the smell. Just imagine Play-Doh. That's what the ice cream tastes like. Now, would I go out of my way to eat that ice cream again? Hell no. Was it bad? It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't cookie dough. So that's like the same thing with avocado. What does it taste like? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's weird. I don't like avocados. The same thing with mangoes. I don't like mangoes. And that's one fruit that I will tell you the only way you will see me eating a mango is if you blend it up and put it in a smoothie or in a juice. Like eating like a raw mango, bro, there's no way, bro. I'm good. Hell no. And again, I don't know why, because I eat mango and I'm like, and I drink the mango, right? Because like, let's say I put it in a smoothie or I put it in the juice. It's not bad, but for some reason, the actual fruit, cutting it up and like seeing how people eat mangoes, and you go to the mall and these people are buying cups of mangoes or whatever. I'm like, yo, you guys are weird. I don't know how you guys eat that shit. But anyway, got a whole lot of catching up to do. Going full blast hopefully tomorrow morning. It's all good, Albert. It's all good. Hope you had a good day, my brother. Before we get started, guys, any questions? Let me know. Today's session is gonna go by pretty quick. I have a few things to take care of tonight as well, so gonna have to do this one a little bit faster than usual. Obviously, we're still gonna talk about some things. There's specifically one thing I gotta talk about, which is not something new, something that we talk about every single day on the session. However, not gonna name any names, but he knows who he is. Took a little bullshit trade today. But that's okay, right? It happens. You know, I said this like what 2-3 sessions ago. I think I said this on Thursday's session, or I probably said this on Sunday's session, right? Again, we're human. There's gonna be days where we're going to take not the best setups, and it is what it is. It might not be because you don't know what you're looking for. It's just we're human. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna forget some things. But that's what repetition is. The more you do it, the more you see it. Is no longer something that you have to look at, right? It's no longer something that you have to continue to look at your notes and look at the rules, right? Within due time, you will get on the charts and it will be like your first name. If somebody goes up to you right now and asks you, hey, what's your name? You're not going to think about it. You're not going to open up your notes app on your phone to look what your name is. You just know it. My name's Lewis, right? You know it, right? So within due time, all these rules that you guys are learning, all these things that you guys are seeing on the market is going to be like your name. You're gonna know it because again, repetition is all it takes. If somebody asks you what 2 times 2 is, you're not gonna take out the fucking calculator and look up what 2 times 2 is. You already know 2 times 2 is 4. So it's the same thing when I ask you guys, hey, zone of consolidation in an uptrend, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation. Are you going to take that buy? You're not going to open up your notebook 2 years from now to look up what the rule is. You're already going to know, okay, no, without a break of structure, I can't look for a buy at the top of the zone of consolidation in an uptrend. Right? Same thing with the zone of consolidation in a downtrend. You're not going to take a sell position at the bottom of the zone of consolidation without a proper break of structure retest. Right? But again, within due time, you will be able to know that and see that right away on the charts. And it all starts with repetition. It all starts with studying. It all starts with you doing it every single day and seeing it every single day. Right? So again, at the end of the day, we're all human here. We're not robots. right? This isn't something that I could just code into your body and then, oh, you know it. No, this is something you have to study. You have to see it. You have to understand it. Every single detail. You're gonna know it, right? It all just takes time. And that's okay, right? He said, drop names. It's okay. Nah, Kendall. We're not gonna do you like that, bro. It's all good, right? No entries at the top of the zone consolidation. Build the habit. Yeah, nah, it's facts. That's how it starts. So, we'll break that down. It was a trade on Euro USD. We'll do that at the end of the session. Again, I'm in a little bit of a rush. I have to be out of the house again by 8:30ish. So there's a little bit of traffic. So gonna be a little bit kind of fast on this session. Again, I'm gonna try to break it down. The good thing is that tomorrow there's FOMC news. So regardless of anything else, you guys already know me. I don't trade news. I don't really trade news. We already know how the market reacts on the days of news, and we'll talk about that today with some of the pairs as well, right? The days before news, the day during news, especially when it's FOMC at 2 p.m., we already know that we're going to wake up tomorrow and there's a 90% chance that price is just going to be consolidating, and we're going to wait for 2 p.m. And at 2 p.m. is when we're going to get that crazy move, right? Whether it's a spike to the top side or spike to the bottom. So we already know that NYC session, there might not be any trades. So I'm not too worried about today's isolation session. I'm not worried about that because, again, I already have an understanding that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and there's a 90% chance that I'm not going to see a trade, right? So, again, it's all good. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Any pairs that you guys want me to go over, anything you guys want me to explain, just let me know. That's the feeling I hope for, knowing the charts like the back of my hand. That's all it is, man. I used to be the same way. That was one thing I was like, damn, bro, I can't wait to see the charts like this. Especially when he was doing the sessions, when I was learning from him. I'm like, yo, how the hell did this dude do it so quick? But you guys could ask him. How many years did it take me to do that? Right? When I started doing the isolation sessions for him, it was like, damn, you doing this quick. It's like, yo, that's how I want to see the charts. Right? And at first, he was like, yo, you can't do it so fast, until he realized, like, okay, hold on. This is the way that he's studying the charts. This is the way that he's going through it. This is the way that he's going to be able to speed up the pace. But it's not about speeding up the pace, right? Because it's not like I was doing it fast and I was missing steps. No, I was doing everything, every little detail from the top to the bottom. But I wanted, the way that I study, the way that I learn, is by doing things quickly at my pace, right? If I sit here for fucking, and Kendall saw it today, I'm sorry, I had to pull up one of the old videos from 2021, I believe it was. This motherfucker did an isolation session for 4 hours, and listen, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to be repeating myself talking about the market makers pattern for 4 hours. There's not enough information on the charts to be doing an isolation session for 4 hours. So that's definitely not going to be me. Now, a 30-minute session, a 45-minute session, an hour session, alright, cool. But 4 hours is criminal. I'm not going to be doing a 4-hour isolation session. And again, anybody from that's still in this chat, the people that are still active, who used to be active when he was doing the classes, like Donovan, Stephen Melly, people like that, if they were in this chat, they would tell you, bro, the sessions would start at 7 p.m. and there'll be nights where we wouldn't be going to sleep till 2 in the morning, right? And it sucks for people like them who live in another country, right, who are 6, 5 hours, 7 hours ahead of us. For us, it's 7 p.m., but for them, it's already 2, 3 in the morning. So it's kind of crazy. I'm not going to be doing that. That's not going to be that's not my style of doing these sessions. But again, you guys could go back, and you guys already know. If you guys have questions, ask the questions. I'll sit here for whatever time it takes until you guys understand everything. But again, it's all about repetition. That's why we say the same thing, we do the same thing every single day, because that's what trading is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, trading should be the same thing every single day. If you're on your charts and something feels foreign, that is, you're doing something wrong, right? If something feels wrong, something feels off on the charts when you're looking at a trade, then you shouldn't be trading it, because there's something going on that you don't understand, right? And the day that you feel like you don't know what you're seeing is the day where you have to take a step back away from the charts and don't take a trade. Those are going to be the days that you're going to lose a trade. And that's what we're trying to do here, is to not take those losses. And it's not even losses. I would say unnecessary losses. Right? Because again, as a trader, as a human, are you going to take losses? Yes. Could you avoid these losses? 100%. And you guys seen it for the last two years, right? When did we start doing these sessions on YouTube? At the end of 2023. So it's literally been 2 years, right? For you guys that have been doing these sessions with us since 2014, 2015, 2016, you guys have known this is what we do, right? We don't take unnecessary losses. But again, that's not because we woke up one day and said we're not gonna take losses. No. Go ask Key how much time he has on the charts, or how much time he spent studying. There's pictures of me online sleeping on my fucking chair in front of my desk in my setup with my headphones on and with the video playing in the background. Again, there's people who want it, and then there's people who say they want it but they don't put in the work, right? You have to be that type of person. So again, no questions in the chat. I'll give you guys another minute. If no questions in the chat, then we'll get started. We'll go over the daily time frame, talk about where we're at, daily highs, daily lows, go to the 4-hour time frame, same thing, 4-hour highs, 4-hour lows, look for continuations for the rest of the week. Then we'll do the same thing on the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, talk about the continuations. And again, we know we have news tomorrow, 2 p.m. FOMC, high impact news. 90% chance that there's not going to be a trade for us during the NYC session. There's a 90% chance that 90% of these pairs that we're going to be looking at aren't going to move until 2 p.m. when that news does hit. So I'm not too worried about this isolation session for today. But again, any questions, anything you guys want me to explain, anything you guys want me to go over, just let me know. And then we'll get started. I'll give you guys a minute in the chat. We'll start at 7:19. Literally give you guys a minute. Ask any questions, anything you guys want. If not, we'll get started. And then again, this shouldn't be longer than 30 minutes for today, because again, I do have to go at 8 p.m. So I'm cutting it close, I had to go handle some business at 5, and then I came back just now. I'm like, yo, I gotta go home and do the session. I got home literally at 6:50. Can you do the patterns again? Which ones? Are you talking about the market makers pattern, or the type 1, type 2, type 3 patterns? I got you. I'll do those at the end of the stream as well. Thank you. No problem, Mr. Brian. Alright, so let's get started, guys. So AU, we know we're in A2. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. So again, not the best spot to look for a trade. We know we're looking for a break of these lows. We never got the break. We had a testing candle, right? We had the inducement to the lows. And this is where we started seeing higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And now price, we're seeing it push back up to the top side. So again, you guys know I don't trade counter trend. So pairs like these where we're just moving counter, I just let price move. We already know our target. Our point of interest for us to start looking for trades again, if price gives us this break, I'm going to be expecting price to fill this gap up here in the 30-minute time frame, where again, if we go back to the daily time frame, is exactly what I have drawn here. This is what I'm expecting price to do. And when will I start looking for trades? Once we get this break of structure is when I'll start looking to take trades back down to the bottom. So again, AU is just more about waiting for this to develop for us, waiting for our moves to develop, and then we take the trade. Right, nothing really here to update on the 4-hour. We have a change of character. Again, what we're looking for is that break. This break is what's going to confirm that price is going to continue that push to the top side. Now, if price doesn't break these highs, then perfect. Then we know we could take these trades back down to the bottom. Right, so it's either we're going to be looking for trades somewhere in this area, or we're going to be looking for trades somewhere in this area once price reaches these highs. So we just got to be patient with AU. We had 2 days of counter rise, again going against the trend. Price gave us a push to the top side and then finished on a day of drop. So just going to mark this as a day of drop. I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. Right? Even though price gave us that wick at the top, right? It tapped it. Zoom into it actually. Let's see if it tapped it or it finished right on it. Let's see this real quick. Right, no, we didn't finish above it, so we're still trading between the same 30-minute high and 30-minute low that we've been trading in for the last couple days. Right, this low and this high. So AU, nothing there for us. Just gonna take a step back. So basically, it's not advisable to trade when it's no, of course not, Albert. Right, especially I will say high impact news like FOMC that happens at 2 p.m. Non-farm payroll that happens they changed it. It used to be the first Friday and the last Friday of the month, but now I think they're doing it on the second Friday. Let's actually look that up real quick. That's one thing that I have to start thinking about as well. So usually NFP, non-farm payrolls on Fridays, either the end of the month, right, the last Friday of the month, or the first Friday of the month. So you see that there's no NFP on Friday the 28th, which is the last Friday of the month. So we should be expecting it on the first week of the month instead, right? Non-farm payroll, right? Non-farm employment. But that's a non-farm employment. Where's non-farm payroll? NFP, right? Friday. So I guess it's just non-farm employment now. Like I noticed that sometime last year, like mid last year, they kind of changed that. Yeah, and then we have a bank holiday on the 18th. So yeah, the first Friday of the month, that non-farm, right? Sorry, I just ate some food and now I'm fucking got all that shit stuck. So on high impact news, specifically FOMC and the non-farm, we know that the market, you think of it as pips. Always remember it as pips, right? These pairs have specific amounts of pips that they're going to move on a day-to-day basis. They're going to move on a weekly basis. So we know that FOMC, for example, that's tomorrow. We know that price is going to move maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times more than what it's supposed to do, right? So instead of, to give you the example on a USD pair, right? Instead of price giving you a whole move, right? A whole 62 pip move. Let's see for today, right? Just think about it. AU is supposed to be a pair that moves 62 pips on a day-to-day basis. They only did 40 yesterday, right? That's already giving you is giving you an advantage that lets you know, okay, price tomorrow during news, right? We know that price is gonna move crazy, is leaving room for this pair to continue to move for the rest of the week, right? Because how many times have you seen it where news hits, right? Or even before news, how many times have you seen it that price just consolidates, and then during news it spikes up like crazy or it spikes down like crazy, right? How many times have you seen it that the days after news, so in this case Thursday and Friday, how many times have you seen it that price is just consolidating, right? It's because that certain pair during the news, it already hit the quota for that week, right? And in this instance, 133 pips is how many pips AU is going to move on average. So if it does, to give you the example, if at the end of FOMC, this pair for the week already, if it already did 160 pips, 170 pips, then we know that Thursday and Friday, price is just going to consolidate, right? And then next week, Sunday's market open going into Monday, Tuesday, that's when we're going to start looking for price to start moving again, right? So it's definitely not a good thing to take trades before news. Is there going to be times where you do have an opportunity to trade? Absolutely. You know, you could take that, but you have to babysit it, because there's a 90% chance that even with STP, even with ADR, if you're in that trade tomorrow morning, I'll give you the example. If you get into a trade tomorrow morning, specifically a USD pair, if you're in that trade, you have to babysit it, because if STP isn't hit by the time news is going to drop, you should get out of the trade, because with news, you don't really know what's going to happen, right? Again, is there times where you could take a trade before news and it's going to be a winning trade and it's going to go straight into profit? Yes, but there's a lot of other confirmations that you have to see before you take that trade, right? You have to see if you're in a trend, if you're in a zone of consolidation. Again, if you're in a zone of consolidation and news drops and you have no break of the highs and you have no break of the lows, where is price going to go with the news, right? There's a 90% chance it's just going to stop, is hunting for stop losses, right? There's a 90% chance that if you don't have a break of structure and news hits, that is going to spike up like crazy, hit stop losses and then go down, hit stop losses and then go back up again, right? How many times have you seen that on the charts? So to keep the answer simple, you shouldn't really be trading on days of news. It's really not the best thing to do. So EA, we're in V2, second zone of consolidation. We had the break of structure. Let me go ahead and start deleting some of these drawings that we have here, because I'm ready to finally get out of that. I'll learn this later, but after you calculate STP, how do you measure or know how much the market has moved before the NY session? Oh, simple. We'll do that we'll do that now in the 30-minute time frame. I got you. Right, so EA, We know that we're in V2, where we're looking for the break of structure of the zone of consolidation. We had the break, and now we're looking for a pullback. Right after a higher high, we're looking for a higher low. Going into the 4-hour, we have 3 weeks of rise. This week being the 4th week push, right? That 4th week variation, since we had a rise no net. Could we expect price to give us that 4th week push? We can. It could still happen. Right, we know we had a little inducement of the lows, a little change of character on the 30-minute time frame, and then price on the 5-minute started giving us higher highs and higher lows, change of characters, break of structure. Now, again, what am I really looking for here? I really want to see a flip on the 30-minute time frame. Right, however that's made, whether it's made because price did this and then we started going back up, right? Because if we make a new low, then we'll be looking for these highs to break, and this is where we'll want to get into a trade to continue. But the fact that we're already on Wednesday, it's very low possibility that price is going to come back down to these lows. Right, so again, EA is just one pair that I'm going to be taking a step back. I'm going to keep looking at it, but I'm not really expecting, I'm not anticipating price to give us that push to the top side. Now, to calculate ADR, or to calculate STP, to calculate how many pips price has moved, is very simple. So, for example, let's put a line here. Right, and let's put this at 9 a.m. since it's NYC. So like, let's say, and then let's zoom in so you don't see what's going on ahead of it. Right, so let's say you wake up and boom, or you get on the charts during NYC and this is what you see. Right, so all you're calculating is how many pips have been made today. So what you want to do is either you could grab this tool here, right, and put it at the lowest point or the highest point, right, and just do this. And you already know, okay, cool, today EA moved 82 pips. Right, once you know that, you take what STP is. Right, I haven't done STP, I didn't update it this morning, but I'll give you a rough estimate. Right, let's say 146, just for the sake of conversation, 146 pips. Right, 97 pips is STP, and again, this ADR is already for tomorrow. This isn't today's STP, but you know that 97 pips is STP for the day. So price already did 82. It gave you the pullback, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You know you could take a trade here. Again, for conversation's sake, let's say you take a trade here. You know that you could put your TP at 97 pips, which again, 97 pips would be here. Right? 96.8. Let's try to get it right to the number 97. So you know that you could take a trade just like this. You have your, sorry, wrong position. Hello? Am I bugging? Right, stop loss below here, somewhere in this area, and your take profit over here at 97 pips. Right, so this is how you would calculate STP, ADR. This is how you would see it. Right, so again, you could either calculate pips with that tool, the price range tool, or you could click shift on your keyboard, and then when you click and hold shift, you click with your mouse, you left click with your mouse, and then you drag it up. And this will also tell you the pip amount here. Brain malfunction, yeah, facts. Been running around like crazy today. Right, so right now for EA, again, just kind of taking a step back. Right, I do want to see price continue that push to the top side. We'll get more opportunities going into tomorrow. Tomorrow's definitely going to tell us what price wants to do. So we'll just wait for EA going into tomorrow to see what price wants to do. Bet, thank you. No problem, no problem. EURCAD daily time frame. We're in V1. We were in V1 in the first zone of consolidation. We're looking for that second push, that break of structure to the top side. We got the break. And again, in EURCAD, where are we? We're in higher high. Expecting price to give us a higher low. And again, very similar to the other pair. We have a gap at the bottom of the market that I am expecting price to come down to and fill. Again, it doesn't have to fill it right away. It doesn't even have to fill it now during the uptrend. It could wait until we start doing the downtrend and then fill it on the downtrend. No continuations. We already have 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. And if you notice EURCAD, what has it been doing this week already? Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, what has price been doing? Well, Monday and Tuesday. Right, yeah, I'm bugging. Price has just been moving sideways. So again, EURCAD is one that I'm just taking a step back from. I already know that the price has to either go down or move sideways. Right, and at this point we have lower low, lower high, and lower low. So EURCAD is another one that I'm not really going to be taking any trades on just yet. Gonna be waiting till next week to start looking for trades again on EURCAD. Mr. Kendall, the pair for the day. EU. Right, so EU, we know we're in V1. Let's go ahead, and I know I've been doing a lot of markups the last couple of days and I haven't deleted them, so I'm sorry about that, guys. So EU, we're in the first zone of consolidation, V1. We still don't have any break of the lows. Price was just testing the lows. We have no break of the highs. Price is just testing the highs. We have a month of rise. Right, where are we in the internal structure? We're at a higher high. On top of the fact that we're at a higher high, we have 2 weeks of rise. This week being the third week, price pushed up today, gave us that third week high, and then came right back down. Right, and again, if you notice it on the 4-hour time frame, what is price doing? It's moving sideways, just consolidating. So now we go into the 30-minute time frame. In the 30-minute time frame, what did we see? Well, perfect. We know that we were trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. At the higher low, we got a change of character, we got the break of structure, and we got the retest, right? If you were up during Asia session and you took this trade here, perfect. You did everything correctly if you took the trade during the Asia session. You had a trade here, you entered, stop loss below this area somewhere, TP, if you wanted to take a 1-to-1, perfect. If you wanted to hold to the top of the zone of consolidation, perfect, a 1-to-2, right? That was the only opportunity you had. But again, what do we know about EU? EU, we're in a zone of consolidation at these highs, where price was rejecting highs, rejecting lows, going high again, coming down. We were in a zone of consolidation, and once again in the 4-hour time frame it looked a little bit cleaner, just a little bit. It's a little bit more tighter. However, we know that in order for price to continue these highs, in order for price to go higher than this, what did we need to see? We needed to see a break of structure. Did price ever during Asia session, did it ever give you a break of structure of these highs? No. It tested these highs. In order for you to continue to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? In order for you to see this, right? In order for us to see this, what do we need to see before price gives you a higher low? Before price gives you a higher low, you need to see a break of structure. You need to see a valid break of structure. Again, what is a valid break of structure? You have the break of structure line. You have one green candle, right? Just because this green candle closed above the break of structure line doesn't mean that it's a break of structure. This is considered a testing candle. This is considered an inducement candle, right? So what you want to wait for is another green candle to close above this first green candle's wick, and you have to make sure that nothing is touching from this candle. You have to make sure that the wicks aren't touching the line. You have to make sure that the body isn't touching the line, right? You have to make sure that it closes above the first candle's green wick and it closes above the break of structure. This is when you'll look for the retest to then continue that push to the top side. Did you get that here? No, you got an inducement of the high. You got a testing candle. So this is the reason why now if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, right? A lot of people, not gonna name any names, right? They thought that this was a valid engulfing candle here, right? But again, the reason why this is not a valid engulfing candle is because this is at a higher high. This is at the top of the zone of consolidation, and you did not have a valid break of structure retest to continue the push to the top side. Comparing this engulfing candle to the one that was made at the higher low, at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, the safety trade, this is why you could take this trade and be in zero drawdown compared to being in this trade and your stop loss was hit, right? If you would have waited for a valid break of structure to happen here and then get in on the retest, then 100% you would have been straight into profit, right? So that is the reason why this trade didn't work out. It's just because of that break of structure. Without a break of structure, you cannot take a trade at the top of the zone. It doesn't matter how many ways you slice it, right? So, am I seeing the pattern? End of the stream, Brian. End of the stream. I got you. Right now it could potentially be forming. Potentially. We have 3 days of rise though. After 3 days of rise, what must the market do after 3 days of rise? Right? So, chop or drop. Chop or drop. Now, the gaps in the market might help this continue to push to the top side. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Right, so right now let's just update our 30-minute highs. And again, guys, at this point I am gonna move on a little bit quicker. I'm telling you, I gotta go at 8 p.m. So I'm gonna be a little bit quicker. Again, at the end of the stream, Brian, I'll go over the patterns. I'll draw them out for you again. I got you. 4-hour time frame real quick. We do have a break above, but I'm not gonna change this just yet. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow's session to update those 4-hour highs. I want to see a little bit more data on this before we change the 4-hour highs and 4-hour lows. So gonna move on quicker, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions, anything you guys want me to explain, and I'll do that at the end of the stream. So GA, Jesus, man, I gotta update my drawing. So GA V2 second zone of consolidation. We got the break of structure. We got the higher high, higher low. Price came up and gave us another higher high. So again, we're trading at a higher high. Very similar to the other pair. We have 3 weeks of rise. On the third week, price gave us a rise drop. We're looking for price to give us that 4th week variation. But again, very similar to the other pair that we were just talking about. And the movements are very similar. Right? We had the change of character. We had the inducement of the 30-minute low. We had a change of character break of structure. Right? But at this moment, we know that these pushes to the top side could just be a lower high forming to make into a lower low. So before I look for any trades on GA, I need to start seeing price giving me higher highs and higher lows again. Alright, so right now we have a day of rise. GCAD, daily time frame. Again, a lot of these pairs are very similar. They're in the same situation. Right, we were in V2, second zone of consolidation. We were looking for the break of structure. We got the break of structure. We just don't have a retest. We don't have a pullback. Price is at a higher high. After a higher high, we're looking for price to make higher low. No continuations on the 4-hour time frame. We're sitting still at the higher high. And on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. So we know that we're trading between this lower high over here. I gotta take my ring off, man. Hold on. Shit is mad uncomfortable. And we're trading at this lower low over here. And this is a day of rise. Gave us 3 days of rise. On the third day, gave us a drop rise. But again, since it's counter, I'm not gonna mark it as a drop rise on a counter trend. GJ, pretty much still in peak high territory. We're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Looking to see if price wants to give us another higher high to the top side. We're in a zone of consolidation where price has been testing lows, no break of structure, testing highs, no break of structure. We got an inducement of the lows, and then price started pushing to the top side. We had 3 weeks of rise, but we could see that price just continued to push to the top side. We had a gap in the market, resets to trend, so that's okay. Price is going to continue to do what it has to do. Right, and we finally got the break of structure that we were looking for without a pullback. Right, we had 3 days of rise. On the third day, which was today, price gave us a rise, clean rise, not a rise known or a rise drop. Right, just a clean day of rise. So GJ just gonna keep a very close eye on it. Nothing here for me just yet. Again, tomorrow morning I'll turn the stream on. Obviously, we'll talk about news a little bit more in detail. We'll talk about what could happen, and then we'll go on from there tomorrow morning. GU. Daily time frame, once again very similar to EU. We were in V1, first zone of consolidation. We had the break of structure, higher high. Price gave us the higher low, and now we're looking for the higher high to be made. We're looking for those continuations. Right now, no continuations on the daily time frame, no continuations on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we're gonna have to keep updating this 4-hour highs. We don't have a valid pullback just yet. Right, and then on the 30-minute, price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low change of character, higher high change of character, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high. Now, this is a situation where am I going to mark this all as higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high? Or are we going to say that this is all part of one single trend? Right? Since we're trading GU, I'm going to have to mark this weirdly where we are trading higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high. But understand that I still need to see a break of structure after the change of character. Right? And in this case, since we had a change of character here to the downside, right, which means I have a change of character here, in order for me to look for trades on GU, I need to see the break of structure. Hello, thank you. Once we get the break of structure retest, this is where I want to start looking to take a trade to continue that push to the top side. Right, we had a day of rise yesterday. Today price gave us 2 days of rise. Perfect. Could we be expecting that third day push going into tomorrow? 100%. But again, we're trading at a higher high, so you want to be very careful taking this trade. This is going to be one that I'm still going to market, but tomorrow morning we'll have to see how this looks before we take a trade. Let's move this over here real quick. Right, so GU is one that I'm going to put on our watch list for tomorrow. And again, US30, gold, Bitcoin, and oil, I'm not going to go over those on stream. I'm going to update them now, but I'm not going to talk about them. So I'm going to do this quick. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Alright, USDCAD, daily time frame, we're in peak high territory, we're in the highest point in the market. Right, again, we already completed push 1, push 2, push 3. We reached the previous peak high. So right now it's more about just waiting for continuations to see. Does price want to finally turn around and start giving us downtrends? Or does price want to continue the higher highs and higher lows? And that's what we're going to be waiting for. We have no continuations on the daily, nothing on the 4. On the 30-minute, no continuations. We had 2 days of drop, counter going against the trend. Then price finished on a day of no net for today. Right, just moved sideways today. So again, could we expect the USD CAD to move like crazy going into tomorrow? Absolutely. At the third line from the left, isn't that a retest instead of a change of character with GU? Let's go back to that real quick. On the third line from the left, which one? A change of character is a testing candle. Right, a change of character is whenever price breaks the trend higher high, higher low to make lower lows. Right, a change of character is an inducement of the lows. A change of character is whenever price starts going. Right, I don't treat change of characters the same way I would treat break of structures. Right, especially on the 30-minute time frame. On the 30-minute time frame, when you're looking at structure, right, when you're seeing higher highs and higher lows, sorry, from the right going, well, this is a good example. It's pretty much the same thing since it's a testing candle, right? This would still be considered a change of character. A break of structure is the only thing, since that's when you're looking for an entry. You're not looking for an entry after the change of character. You're looking for an entry after the break of structure. The change of character, it doesn't matter if it's a wick, if it's a body, it doesn't matter if the candle closes below it or not. This is what a change of character is, right? The break of structure is the only time that I want to see price break above retest, and that's when I'm looking for the trade to continue. So then with USD CAD here, lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high. Right, so we're trading between this low and this high. I'm crystal clear now. Thank you. No problem, my brother. And we had a change of character here. And again, very similar to the other pair. After the change of character, what are we looking for? We're looking for the break. So in order for me to start looking for trades on USD CAD, I need to see price give us a break of structure, retest to continue. So USD CAD is looking good. USD ZAR, V2, we're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the top side. No break of the highs, no break of the lows. Still have this gap at the bottom of the market. Again, we can still see price making lower lows and lower highs. No continuations on the 4-hour. Price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. And we know now that we're trading between this lower high, because we could already see that price. Oh man. We could already see that price gave us a break of the low, right? So we're trading between that high and this low here. Then on the 30-minute time frame, we had 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, what would the markets do? The market must do what? Move sideways or go up. And we ended up going up today. And then very similar to USD CAD, we had lower low, lower low, change of character to the top side, higher high. Change of character. So again, in order for me to start looking for trades on USD ZAR, what do I need to see? Break, retest to continue. And then again, gold, Bitcoin, and oil, I'm just going to do it quickly here. I'm not going to talk about it on stream. Just going to mark them up. And then we will go over the type 1, type 2, and type 3 patterns now. Two weeks of rise already gave us that third push to the top side. 2 months of rise already gave us a third push to the top side. Still can't update the daily high though, because of that. Well, yeah, the candle closed already actually. Pretty small zone. But we're trading at a higher high, so be careful taking trades here. The two things that we were looking for, the break retest to continue, and that's exactly what we got. And then now we're trading higher high, higher low, and higher high on the 30-minute. And my hand hurts. USD ZAR retest of 30-minute engulfing. Did the 30-minute engulfing get tapped before or after the break of structure? Answer the question in the chat. After the change of character. So was it before the break of structure or after the break of structure? Or do we not have a break of structure yet? Damn it, changed the wrong line, that's my bad. That's what I get. We don't have a BOS yet, only change of character. Alright. So is that engulfing candle low probability or high probability? Understanding that again, on the daily time frame on USD ZAR, is price making higher highs and higher lows, or is price on USD ZAR making lower lows and lower highs? Damn, oil. Give me an engulfing candle, oil, please. Please. My mom said I gotta pay rent. Please. Daily time frame. You have a change of character. Could be an inducement of the highs. Could start getting ready to start looking for trades on oil again. Oil is gonna be a good one to keep an eye on for sure. Let's go look at the lower time frame real quick. Yeah, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, lower high, break of structure, lower low. Then I'm sure we got an engulfing candle somewhere. Probably on the 1 minute. Let's see. Especially after the break of structure, change of character. Change of character, break of structure. Nah, no engulfing candles, damn. Just gave us a simple retest. That's pretty much it. Okay. 50-50 because we're in lower low. Yep, exactly. That's why I didn't pay no attention to that for today. I didn't want to. I'll talk about that tomorrow morning in the session, in the live trading session. But for the sake of wanting to finish this pretty quickly, that's why I didn't pay any attention to the engulfing candles on ZAR. But again, it could be a good one. After we get that break for tomorrow, we'll definitely start looking for price to go back up on USD ZAR and USD CAD. But again, we'll talk about that tomorrow morning in the live trading session. No problem. All right, so Brian, going back to the type 1, type 2, type 3s. This is what it looks like when you draw them out. So this is the uptrend, right? You have price consolidating. You have price giving you a zone of consolidation, the break, right? 2, 3, right? Again, price is going to consolidate Asia through London session. At the end of London going into NYC is when you should start looking for that breakout. So this is the type 1. Right? The type 2, I should draw that a lot lower. The type 2 pattern, same thing. You have a break, retest to continue. And then the type 3 is same thing. Break, retest 50% of the zone of consolidation to then continue. Type 1, type 2, type 3. Right? And then on the downtrend is the same thing, but inverse. Oh man, I wrote a B. That's not good. Oh man, I didn't even draw a letter there. Very difficult to type with a mouse. My hands hurt, man. Right? No, I'm not gonna show it on the chart. I'm just gonna draw them out. Right, and then on a downtrend, you want to see the same thing, but now price is gonna do this instead. Right? You have the type 1 pattern, the type 2 pattern, and then you have the type 3 pattern, where price comes back 50% of the zone of consolidation to then continue. So you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3. Let me know if that's good, Brian. Make sure you take a screenshot and make sure you draw this out in front of you so you have this in front of you every single time. You know what? We'll go to the US30 too. We'll do what Kendall said. He's a good teacher. Right? So a type 3 pattern, what does it look like? Like this. On the chart, you're consolidating throughout London and Asia and London session. At the end of London, going into NYC, if you notice a timestamp, right, from 5 all the way to 8 in the morning, you had the breakout, you had the retest of the zone of consolidation, right, 50-50 type 3 pattern, to then continue that push to the top side. Right, and again, US30 is one that you always see more than likely a type 1 or type 2 or type 3 pattern. Right, here's a type 2 pattern where it just breaks and continues. Right, you have another type 2 pattern where price consolidates, and again, if you look at the time frames, you'll see it. Right, this is actually a type 1 pattern. Sorry, I didn't see the whole thing. I was just looking at this. Right, it's a type 1 pattern in an uptrend. Break, give you the double bottom to then continuation to the top side. Right, this is another one. Type 2 pattern, break, retest to continue back down to the bottom. Right, this one didn't really do nothing. This one was another type 2 pattern, consolidation, break, retest to continue. Type 3 pattern, consolidation, break, retest of the zone of consolidation to go right back down to the bottom. You see this all the time. And again, this doesn't only show on US30, but I know US30 does it the most out of all the other pairs. Right, it shows up more often than the others. Right, this is another one, type 2 pattern, consolidation, break, and just continuation. This was a type 1 pattern, consolidation, break, double bottom, and it continues back to the top side. This will be on a lower time frame. Alright, we'll show you one more here. Right, this is a type 3 pattern, consolidation, break, came back halfway. Right, this one went a little bit higher, but that's okay. It's just hitting everybody's stop loss. And this one's a little bit more different because you have a gap in the market. So regardless, you should always have your stop loss above the zone, especially when you're looking for that gap. Right, and that's where your entry should have been, or you wait for the continuation like we did here to continue. And man, we've taken a lot of good trades on US30. Damn, man, take me back to December and November, please, when everybody's scared to trade on the markets, because November, get away from the charts. December, get away from the charts. These are people who don't know how to trade, guys. You could trade every single fucking month of the year. It doesn't matter. Just gotta wait for your rules to play out. This one did. Who knows? That's not a type 1 pattern. This is a type 1 pattern, as you can see. Consolidation, break. You go down to a lower time frame, you'll see the double bottom, change of character, break of structure, blah blah blah, to go back up to the top side. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Any questions? Let me know. Why do I feel like type 3 patterns are a bit scary? It could be, right? Especially if you don't know what you're looking for in the beginning. But it shouldn't be scary, right? It shouldn't be scary, because again, if you know you're in a downtrend, right? If you know that price is giving you the inducement to the highs, for example, in this case, right? How many times did price induce these highs? Right? If price already gave you a zone of consolidation, right? And you're going with the trend, right? So let's say lower low, lower high, lower low. Boom. And at this lower low, it gives you a zone of consolidation. Right? Boom. It gives you a zone of consolidation. And it gives you the break of structure. And it's giving you the retest. What are you scared about? Right? Now vice versa, if you're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And at this higher high, price starts consolidating, right? And it gives you the break of structure, and then it gives you a pullback. What do you think is going to happen here? You think price is going to go back down? And I'll let you answer that question. right? You think price is going to come back down, or do you think price is going to spike you out and make a higher high? Right? Again, if you're following everything that we're talking about, if you're following all of the trends, no. In this case, you would go down because you're trading with the trend. Lower low, lower high, lower low. You know price is going to either consolidate or give you a pullback to continue into the lower low. But if you're making higher high, higher low, higher high, and price does something like this and gives you a higher low, price is going to hit your stop loss. It's going to make a higher high. It's going to make a higher high. So you shouldn't be scared to trade type 3 patterns. You shouldn't be scared to trade consolidation zones, especially when you're following the trend. Now again, if you're not following the trend, then yeah, you should be scared to take a trade because you don't know what's going to happen, right? But again, we'll draw this out one more time. Price is making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Again, we know that the market makers has two type of moves. Either a trend, right? Or a zone of consolidation. So after a higher high, if the market makers decide to just give you a zone of consolidation at a higher high, and price gives you a break of the zone of consolidation, and what is it doing? Again, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. If price gives you a higher low and you mistake this as a type 3 pattern and you decide to take a trade here, then you know that you're going to lose that trade because price is going to continue the trend. Higher high, higher low to higher highs. Right? However, if price is downtrending, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and price gives you a zone of consolidation at the lower high, and price breaks the zone of consolidation and gives you a type 3 pattern, then you know you could take this trade, right, to come back down to the lows. Right? He says straight to stop loss, word to candle, facts. Right? But if you take a trade with the trend, then you're going to go straight to STP, 372s. Right? I hope that made sense, guys. Let me know if it didn't. I'll go over it again. I'll give you guys another 3 minutes in the stream, and then I don't have to go, unfortunately. I have to go back to business, man. Let me know if that made sense, Albert. But again, a type 3 pattern, a type 1 pattern, a type 2 pattern, it shouldn't feel scary. If it feels scary, it's because you're doing something wrong. But again, if you're following the trend, if you're taking shorts when price is downtrending, you're going to win 100% of the time. If you're trying to take a type 3 pattern going short when price is uptrending, you're done for. And again, if you go look up on YouTube, if you want to fall in the rabbit hole and go look up Smart Raja Concepts, SRC, by Raja Banks, he's going to teach you that the way to trade is breakouts. He's going to teach you that all you're looking for is a break and retest to continue. However, what he doesn't go over is market structure, and this is why a lot of his students lose a lot of trades. This is why he loses a lot of trades. It's because, again, just because you're in a zone of consolidation does not mean that you're going to get a break retest to continue, especially when you're not following the trend. If you're making higher highs and higher lows, and price at a higher high gives you a zone of consolidation and breaks the bottom of the zone of consolidation, that does not mean that price is going to go all the way back down. No, that's price giving you a higher high into a higher low to continue the higher high. But again, if you take a trade going short when price is making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and at the lower high it gives you a zone of consolidation and it breaks the lows and it gives you the retest, then where do you think you're going to go? You're going to go into the lower low. And again, this is why 100% of the traders that you see online have a 40%, 50%, 60% win rate, and it's because they do not understand market structure. We trade with market structure, so there's no reason to be scared to take a trade with us. There's no reason. Again, especially when you know the rules. You should not be scared to take any trades. That's why whenever we do one-on-one sessions, what's the first thing we go over before we even look for entries is market maker's pattern. Right? Before we even look for anything else, before we look for entries, before we look for 372s and 3 months and continuations, what do we go over? Market structure. Because again, if you don't know where you're trading, if you don't know if you're trending, if you're consolidating, if you don't know if you're in an uptrend or in a downtrend, how are you going to know when to take a trade? How are you going to know when not to take a trade? Right? So that's pretty much it, man. But any other questions, guys? Let me know. If no other questions, then that's pretty much it for tonight. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Again, please be careful with the news tomorrow, guys. Do not blow your accounts. If you do not need to take a trade, do not take it. If you need to take a trade because the Propfirm that you have says that you got to take a minimum trading days, open up a fucking penny lot and then close it right away. Do not hold the trade. Do not hold the trade throughout news, especially when price is sitting at higher highs or lower lows. Wait for the trend to start and then take a trade. Right? But again, tomorrow morning, bright and early, right? I'll try to be on the stream at 7 a.m., 6:30, 7 a.m. Same time as usual. And we'll go over the pairs again, what they're doing, what we could be expecting for the 2 p.m. news. Again, I don't trade news personally, so I won't be trading after 10:30 in the morning. But that's just me personally. That's how I am when it comes to trading. Again, not every day is a trading day, or I'm not in a rush to lose my money. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Good night, Mr. Brian. We'll see you tomorrow morning or tomorrow's isolation session. Hope you have a good rest of your night, my brother. Any other questions from anybody, let me know. If not, again, we'll be done for tonight and we'll be back again tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. again to do the isolation session. And then Thursday morning and Thursday evening. And then Friday morning. And then remember, we don't have a Friday isolation session. So we'll be back again. After Friday, we'll be back again Sunday for the weekly market breakdown. And then Monday again for the live trading session in the morning. Third week low. What are we talking about? What pair? Good night, Mr. Albert. See you tomorrow, my brother. On Big 30? Yeah, on the Big 30. We'll see what happens with this. We'll see how it goes. It does look promising, though, since we never got that break. But, again, we know that US30 is a pretty big pair, so we'll see what happens. What I do like is that internal, right? You saw that I marked that up, right? Especially where we're at now on the 800 EMA. If we could get price to give us that break, but at the end of the day too, you know, we could go back down into the 1 minute. I don't really want to talk about this, but it is what it is, right? On the 1 minute, you know, we're not really trading in that 5-minute structure, right? In the 1 minute we had lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And we're trading between this low and this high. So US30 right now is in a weird spot. I'm gonna just let this one rock, right? Because in the 5-minute, I'm not gonna mark this as lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. I'm going to say that all of this is part of the same structure, same trend. So we'll see what happens here on US30. But again, US30, I'm not a fan of US30 right this second, right? We have too many questions that need to be answered, right? We have all these gaps at the top of the market. Does price want to go back up to the highs? We have these gaps at the bottom of the market, right? Does price want to go back down? You know, daily time frame, we have a change of character, lower low. On the 4-hour, we have a change of character, lower low. So after a lower low, we know price has to give us a lower high. So this is one of those situations with US30 where you kind of just gotta take a step back, right? And in the words for other traders, you don't want to catch a falling knife, and that's what US30 looks like it's doing right now. So I'm just gonna let US30 rock. We'll see what this does later on tomorrow morning, and then we'll see if we could catch anything on it. But again, I'm not in no rush to take a trade on here just yet. I need to see this shaping up just a little bit better before I take a trade. H4 change of character BOS? No. In the 4 hour, you had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, lower high, lower low, but it was testing. Then it came back up and gave you a higher high, change of character, and then it came back down and gave you a change of character, lower low. So 4 hour time frame, we're still trading between the change of character, lower low. Daily time frame, same thing. Daily time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price came down and gave you a change of character, lower low. Okay, I looked at that all as one move. Yeah, no. US30, that's what I'm saying. Like, US30 is too big of a pair to consider this as just one move, right? So I wouldn't say that this is all part of the same move. I would consider this as the trend, the same thing. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. No, on US30, I would not consider this as just one part of the one move. There's no way. Yeah, it's too big of a pair to do that, right? Because we could see that if we would have just considered this as an inducement of the low, what are you expecting after the inducement of the low? You're expecting price to continue into a higher high. And the fact that price induced the lows, right? In this case, if price induced the lows, price shouldn't induce the highs. This should have enough strength to give you that inducement of the lows to continue into the higher high. So the fact that price gave you that inducement, you already know that price is going to come back down. So that's why this is considered change of character. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Peace out, peace out.